Alright, it has been months and months since September 24th, 2014. This night plays huge into the WWE TLC match between John Cena and Seth Rollins, and the fact that WWE really has no idea what they're doing or what they have done in the past. If you go back to Night of Champions, the biggest draw for the Night of Champions 2014 pay-per-view was John Cena getting his rematch against Brock Lesnar and proving to the world that he could beat Brock Lesnar. At SummerSlam 2014, John Cena was embarrassed by Brock Lesnar. I can't remember the number. They just brought it up on the Slammies the other night, whether it was 14, 16, 18 German suplexes with Brock just picking up John Cena and throwing him around the ring. I remember from watching that match, I believe John Cena hit 3 offensive moves in that match. It got to the point where basically Brock Lesnar stopped beating on John Cena and asked John Cena to come at him and try to hit him in the face. I mean, like, there's nothing more embarrassing than basically the guy who's beating you up to put his hands down and just say, come on, come and hit me, just so you can say you got one in on me. At the Night of Champions pay-per-view, it was John Cena beating on Brock Lesnar, about to have the win. He hit his second or maybe even his third FU on Brock Lesnar, and it looked like John was actually going to be able to get the 1, 2, 3 and become the 16-time WWE champion at this point. Tying Ric Flair's record. Everybody could, swing down and hoot and holler, whether if they thought it was the best thing for business for Cena to tie Ric Flair's championship run. Cena's been a great guy for the WWE. He's been going strong since WrestleMania 21, and if anybody's had a great run in wrestling, it's been John Cena, who's been on top longer than Stone Cold Steve Austin, longer than The Rock, longer than Hulk Hogan. WWE has not been able to find that guy to take his spot, and I think he deserves everything that he's gotten. But basically, during that match, Seth Rollins ran out and gave a curb stomp to John Cena, basically implanting himself into the number one contendership. He took that point, basically looking down. Cena had been disqualified. He bumped Cena out of the ring. From there, Seth Rollins hit a curb stomp on Brock Lesnar as he was recovering and noticing that he had won the match, and he was laughing at John Cena that basically Cena wasn't able to win, and he lost his chance at regaining the WWE Championship. From there, Seth Rollins tried to cash in on Brock Lesnar, wasn't able to get the job done because of John Cena running in and breaking that fact up. Why John Cena didn't wait until the point of Seth Rollins, cashing in the briefcase to cause the disqualification, I don't know. Maybe then he could have taken something away from Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins taking the WWE Championship, and I think more important than anything else, taking away the win over Brock Lesnar, something that's probably going to haunt John Cena for the rest of his career, is that he was never able to beat this one guy, much like, Hulk Hogan was never able to beat the Ultimate Warrior, or something like that. Maybe John Cena, with all his political power, once Brock Lesnar's finally done with UFC after his next run there, after leaving WWE at WrestleMania 31, maybe Cena will ask Vince to bring Brock back one more time so Cena can get that win and put that feather in his cap and and be able to put that on his Hall of Fame plaque for the day he finally goes in there. I don't know. Cena has never gotten his revenge on Seth Rollins. He chased Rollins around on Raw the next night. Next thing you know, they were booking towards the Hell in the Cell pay-per-view, and they were doing Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose inside of the Hell in the Cell, as well as Randy Orton versus John Cena. After that event, basically they did John Cena versus Seth Rollins on a Monday Night Raw match, and they never even talked about the fact of, Cena should be chasing Rollins around, wanting to kill him, and here we are in December, and they're building this up as Cena versus Rollins, and they've never once talked about the fact that Rollins cost Cena the shot. This should be basically John Cena wanting to run down to the ring and rip his shirt off, Hulkamania, Hulk Hogan style, because of the fact that Rollins cost him this. And if you go back and you think about how bad John Cena's I guess that was 2012 was after losing to The Rock Basically, he was never able to really regain momentum after WrestleMania. Of course, he was able to win the Money in the Bank, which he lost on Monday Night Raw, and that year just wasn't Cena's year. He was never able to beat CM Punk. He did beat Dolph Ziggler at the end of the year, but it never really, got. No, he didn't. Ziggler beat him because AJ pushed the damn thing over. That was another thing that Cena lost, and he was able to regain and start 2013 fresh, winning the Royal Rumble, and then going on and facing Rock at WrestleMania 29, where he was able to finally beat Rock, and then his career went off from there. But the fact that the writers have never once mentioned this, I have no clue. I don't know if it's because of the fact they don't like to mention that Brock Lesnar isn't around. But he was mentioned a lot because of the Slammies, and we haven't seen Brock since September. I was really hoping that he would come back for Survivor Series. I was really hoping that he would come back for TLC. They've sort of put this in there because at the October pay-per-view for Hell in the Cell, when John Cena beat Randy Orton inside of Hell in the Cell, John Cena became the number one contender. Of course, it's been a long time that he's been holding on to that number one contendership. It's not like a Money in the Bank. It's just sort of he's going to be told when he can do that. I don't even really think of Seth Rollins with the Money in the Bank. If he still carries that damn thing around, it's just became to the point where it's camouflage to me. Why he brings it, I don't know. If he thinks that Brock Lesnar is going to show up at some sort of a house show or unadvertised to a Monday Night Raw, he'll always have the briefcase with them. I guess you always need to be prepared. I got no clue, but this should be a really good match. John Cena, of course, if you think about tables match, doesn't have the best record in these. If you go back to the 2010 TLC event, I think a lot of people were really surprised when John Cena slipped off the top turnbuckle. As he fell, he went right through the table. Sheamus didn't hit any offensive move on him. John Cena just made a mistake. Sheamus became a WWE champion that day because of Jesse Ventura making it a tables match, naming him the number one contender because he wanted to have a number one contender that no one had ever seen before. That definitely has to be a Raw that's on the WWE Network. I haven't gone on and looked. It just came to my mind as I was talking about this. But if it is, that is a Raw definitely to go back and check out. Basically, with there was a battle royal with anybody who had never won the championship, and Jesse Ventura, basically, who is a guest. A Raw host or whatever they call those things. I should be remembering this because of the fact that they've had Larry the Cable Guy, they've had Seth Green was just on, but they were really happy with those 2010 Raw hosts, guest GMs, whatever the heck they were called, and they were pumping those things out every week. How they were able to get those sort of people in every week. It was kind of surprising to me. You would think that they would run out of guys volunteering to be there, but then again, I guess it is free promotion in front of 1 million fans out there, even if we hate you at the end of the night. People are at least saying your name and getting that out there. But I think Cena has to beat Rollins at the pay-per-view. I think, well, then again, when they did release that when they did release the thing talking about the Royal Rumble, they did talk about Roman Reigns and John Cena being the top favorites to win the Royal Rumble. So then again, if Cena doesn't win and Rollins does, Rollins still has the Money in the Bank, but there is no number one contender because Cena wouldn't have it anymore. But then again, they could try and hype up Monday Night Raw with trying to find out who the number one contender is again, and hopefully they wouldn't do like a beat the clock. Hopefully it would just be like, John Cena versus somebody to find out who the number one contender is. Maybe they can do a tournament. Maybe that would pump some life into a 3-hour Monday Night Raw, trying to make that a little bit better. But I don't know. I'm trying my best to try to think of a way of Cena not winning this match and Rollins getting a main event win and try and help him out a little bit that way. But Cena has to win. I think they're going into Christmas. They want people happy. They know that more than likely for the next 2 weeks, people aren't really going to be watching WWE until after the holidays. Then they're all going to be pumped, ready to go for the Royal Rumble. With that, it's probably going to be Brock Lesnar's match against John Cena. Cena needs to look strong going into that, so it's got to be Cena getting the win. This is going to be a damn fun show on Sunday. Hopefully you guys will be checking it out on the WWE Network. And as well as there, come on over back to the Stevie Breach channel. Sunday night we're going to be talking all about the matches once again. And we'll be running them down match by match, talking about all the finishes and where we think they're going from there. And of course the big Royal Rumble in January. Who's going to be the man to go on to WrestleMania to main event against whoever that champion would be? More than likely at this point, Brock Lesnar. WrestleMania 31 right up around the corner, guys. We got to get there in a hurry. I got my tickets. I'm ready. Peace out.